Hey guys, welcome to a brand new tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I draw characters with a background from a reference photo. Whenever I'm drawing a character with a background, I always want the character to be the main focus of the piece, which means I always sketch the character first and then build the background around the character. So I'm just roughly drawing in the proportions and the angles of the character, and eventually you see me struggle with drawing the face. I won't be explaining how I draw faces, but if you're interested in that, I'll leave links to a video in the description for you guys. So whenever I'm done with the rough sketch, I reduce the opacity and I create a new layer above it and start drawing in cleaner lines. I played with the idea of having an animal companion with my character, so I was thinking a rabbit with wings looking up to the side like the character, and in the end I liked it. For the background, just like you see in the reference, I wanted the planes facing the light to be warm and the planes in the shadow cool. So I used a normal layer for the warm tones and a multiply layer for the cool tones. Then on a new layer, I filled it in with a warm dark tone and erased with a textured brush to give the building a little bit of texture. Moving on to the character, I create separate layers for each part and laid in flat colors. Doing it this way allows me to modify my colors individually. I changed the color of my line art to a warm red by creating a new layer above it and clipping it to the sketch layer. It adds life to the line and you'll see why later on. For the shadows, I use a multiply layer with a soft round brush. I also choose a cool purple tone because my main source of light is warm, so generally the shadows will be cooler. Then I add some blush to the face and start adding light to planes facing the light source. I add more details around her eyes, shadows under her lips, and more blush on the cheek and a little on her nose and more highlights to make the face pop, and then I move on to other parts of her body following the same method. I'm adding shadow shapes for the hair using a multiply layer. For the shirt, I'm also using a multiply layer and a cool purple shade like I used on the skin for its shadows. It still looks orange but a little less saturated. For the highlights, I used a flat brush and a light desaturated yellow, but I didn't quite like the way it turned out, so just like I did on the background, I created a new layer above it and clipped it to the shirt layer, filled it with a desaturated yellow orange and erased with a textured brush. I reduced the opacity of the layer. I add more shadows and a little detail with a flat brush. It was mostly a textured brush I used on her jean, and I colored the outlines with a desaturated blue to make it look believable. And then I bounced around the piece and started refining some areas. I lost the video to the part where I changed the color of our animal companion and where I added details to her hair, but I'll still explain what I did there. For her hair, I added some light shapes and scribbled in some highlights and orange tones. Right now, I'm smudging the edges of her hair to soften it up against the wall, and then using the hairbrush, I'm color picking from the hair and drawing in curving lines to give it a more natural feel. For some finishing touches, I used an add layer and the glitter dot brush to add a little bit of atmosphere to the piece. On another add layer, I used a soft round brush with an orange color to highlight the direction of light and also to add rim lights to the edges of the character. I also used filter to add a little bit of contrast to the piece, and I worked a little bit on our companion. I hope I was able to explain my process properly to you guys. Let me know how I did in the comment section. Also, leave me a comment on what tutorial you would like to see me do next.